if you are a Christian, denying that Satan is acting in the world in a conspiratorial, secret, deceitful way to undermine you and God's creation, the idea that that's not happening, that Satan is not at the center of some grand conspiracy, is retarded.
Here are your hosts, Ethan and Jason.
Now this is podcasting.
Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on earth. We are talking Work Hard. I'm your host, Ethan. With me, Jason.
Yellow,
the color of the shirt. Yellow. Guys, big day. We're not late yet. We're not late. We're not late yet. Sorry, I was going to say, we're early. We're recording a day early, actually. We got to move some schedules around.
We got a jacked up schedule this week.
Yeah, that's all right. That's boring stuff. You don't want to hear about it. I wouldn't want to hear about it either. We have a packed day, a packed show. And by packed show, I mean we just decided what we were going to talk about.
After talking for about an hour and a half.
So we have almost no plan, which I would imagine you guys have figured out is kind of the thing. Kind of what we do anyways. And there are moments that are great and moments that flounder. But today is going to be riveting beyond your imagination. You're going to have to pull over to process the depth of the information we are about to provide you with. The first anecdote that I want to talk about today, before we dive into the main topic, is that I got a new children's book for my daughter called Crispin's Rainy Day. This is just a quick recommendation. We're going to drop couch cushions. That's its own thing now. We're making its own thing. So we're just
if you missed last episode, then couch cushions is going to be its own little show.
Yeah. So I got Crispin's Rainy Day. Great, phenomenal book, dude. And my daughter was so pumped because I showed her some of the pictures on my phone before.
It's really pretty.
Really excited about it. And so when it got there, she'd been asking me all day because I told her that morning, it says it's going to get here today. And so,
is it here yet?
Yeah, she was calling me on my wife's phone. Hey, Daddy, is Crispin's Rainy Day here? She said the whole
That's really funny.
title every time.
Yeah, of course.
It got there. She freaked out. She was the most excited I've seen her in a long time, yelling, jumping up and down. Mommy, it's here. It's here. Crispin's Rainy Day is here. We got the book. We opened it. She was like, "What? Let me look at it." And then she asked me to read it 7 times in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It was really funny. And it is a phenomenal book.
I'll have to order it
It's
now.
told in rhyme, which I did not expect.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And it's very good. You pick up the rhythm within the first stanza. You're like, okay, I know where this is. I know how to get the book here.
Yeah.
The story's phenomenal. Abigail was giggling the whole time. Every time the little sister character, she cleans up.
Yeah, Rose.
Yeah, Rose. She keeps getting put in jail, and every time she's like, this place is a mess, and is like, there's something it's got to be done about this, and so she just like throws the clutter out the window and stuff, and every time it happens, Abigail's just like, and then they save her, and they note in the book that when they save her from the jail, it's very clean, and Abigail's just like, so she loves that part. Tons of questions, tons of it's very good.
Dude, the best kids books are if your kids have a lot of questions afterwards.
Yes.
Why is this that way?
Yeah.
We found that with some movies. Like, I'm still answering questions about the Iron Giant from like 2-3 weeks ago.
Excellent. Yeah, dude. All time. Yeah, so Crispin's Rainy Day, great book. I would recommend it for everybody. They go on the great quest to find the lightning sword, and then she finds it on accident by cleaning. She cleans the dragon's lair that she's caught in, and she throws it out of the window on accident. So they show up. They're like attacking the beach to like get the dragon, whatever. And the sword falls in front of Crispin, and he's like, "Oh, the lightning sword!" And picks it up and then kills the dragon with it. It's very good. It's very good. There's layers. There's layers of like, you know.
That's very funny.
The thing you're searching for most will appear to you when you finally relinquish. Like you're sort of, I'm going to do it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to get whatever. Like God will put it in front of you when you let it go for
my wife.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
How my wife showed up.
Yeah.
When I finally gave it over to God and stopped trying so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's lots of, I saw the interview with one of the interviews that the author did about how he got in so much trouble for making Rose.
Yeah. Making her like a traditional woman.
Yeah.
A girl.
Like the way she's dressed with the dress and the apron and like,
yeah.
The whole time she's just like, how about cake? Like, it's just very good.
She sounds adorable.
Yeah. Guys, it's a good book. I would recommend it to anybody with small kids. I think I have read it probably 12 times in the past 24 hours, and I haven't gotten bored of it yet. Like every time Abigail's like, "Can we read Crispin's Rainy Day?" I'm like, "We absolutely can." It's just fun to read. The rhyming is so well. It's just like, and you get to play with your voice and how you read it every time, and it is one of the children's books I've interacted with probably ever.
I don't know the author, but our favorite rhyming book is The Seven Silly Eaters.
Yeah.
And it's about a family who it starts with the first child, and then they eventually have 7 children.
Yeah.
And the mom gets progressively more and more haggard throughout and worn out.
Yeah.
At first she's doing everything, and all the kids will only eat like one thing. They're extremely picky eaters.
Yeah.
And she's just getting more and more worn out.
Yeah.
And then it comes to her birthday, and she's like, "Oh, no one's going to remember," and goes to bed. And the kids get up in the middle of the night to try and make their favorite thing for her and butcher it and get in a fight and mix it all together and then put it in the oven, forgetting that they had left the oven on, and go to bed because they're like, "Oh, we failed."
Yeah. And
they get up in the morning or their mom comes down early in the morning to start another day, just like usual, and discovers like this big fluffy cake because all the ingredients they had made a cake.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. And then that's what they all eat and all help with in the future is they all help to make the one thing that they all like to eat.
Yeah.
That's a conglomeration of all their favorite foods.
Very cute. Very cute.
And the rhyming is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a huge deal, man.
Dude, yeah, if you get a good kids book and the illustrations of like the messy household, very relatable. To like there's often like there's animals around, pets, like half the kids are sick in one or two of the frames, they're like got snuffly noses and they're in pajamas, whatnot. Dad's always like he's working around the house doing stuff, and mom's just constantly in the kitchen making food for these picky kids.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
It's very funny and very relatable.
Yeah, the illustration in Crispin's Rainy Day is awesome. The colors are like so vibrant, so beautiful. And
he wrote that book based off of, he had a color palette he wanted to use.
Yeah,
which was like the blues with a color pop of yellow.
Yeah,
that's like what he based the book off of.
Yeah,
he's like, how can I make because he's an artist, not a writer.
Right, which you wouldn't be able to tell, dude. I'll tell you right now.
Right, it's his first writing. It's the first writing book he wrote. Sorry, he's illustrated a bunch.
Yeah,
what's his name?
Forrest, last name.
Forrest Dickinson.
Forrest
Dickinson.
Yeah,
get
great.
that on Canon Press, right?
Yeah, Canon Press.
Or Cannonball Books. Sorry, probably it's Cannonball Books.
I mean, I went to their website, Canon Press. It was there.
They have it. Good.
Yeah, it was good. Great book. Abigail loves it. It's probably her favorite book right now. Yep. She loves that the dragon gets killed in the end. She loves it. I asked, "What's your favorite part?" She said that the dragon dies.
Kill that dragon.
Yeah, kill it every time.
What's the story, kids? What's the story of the Bible, kids?
Kill the dragon, get the girl.
Kill the dragon, get the girl.
That's right, baby.
Yeah.
Guys, all right, big show today. So this one, there's caveat in front of this one. Warning.
Content warning.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a content warning. We are going to talk about some stuff that is a little dark.
It's very dark.
Very dark, yeah. Very dark. We're not going to talk about it too explicitly. We will.
You can brush over.
We'll
that
brush
stuff,
over
the
that
details.
stuff as best I can, which should be pretty well. We don't have to dive into the details.
You'll get the idea.
Yeah. So the idea here, because of the kind of nature of what we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be a little bit more explicit about the thesis here on the front end. And that the thesis here is that the world is not as it appears, and engaging with the world that is represented to you, the world that everyone tells you exists, engaging that world will be bad because you're using the wrong tools for the wrong project. You're being told that the project you need to do is to cut 7 2x4s, but the real project you need to be doing is, I don't know, crochet paper or whatever. Like so you're equipping yourself with the wrong gear to tackle the wrong thing because you're being lied to. And so this is not intended to be a detailed expose on these topics. We're going to use heuristics a lot, where there's smoke, there's fire, stuff like that, in order short shortcuts. All of this stuff is factually true. You don't have to take my word for it. If you care enough to look into this, you can just Google it. If you spend 15 minutes looking on any of these topics, what you're going to find is you're going to Google it. You're going to hit the thing that debunks it.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote debunks
for you
it.
guys just listening on audio.
Yeah, you'll do that. You'll do that if within the first 2 or 3 minutes, maybe the first 5 minutes. If you spend 10 more minutes, you will discover that the quote unquote debunking was totally retarded. And if you use your brain when you hear the thing that debunks it, most of the time you're going to go, that sounds like lying. That sounds like you're lying to me.
That sounds like somebody who wanted to cover that up.
Yeah, that sounds illogical. So the idea
Not
here.
to put too much of a spoiler, but that sure looks like a controlled demolition.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just a hint.
Yeah, just a hint. Yeah, so we're going to get
to the kind of thing we're talking about.
Yeah, we're going to dive into the realm of conspiracy theories, all right? Now, because I don't want this show to be explicitly political, although we do get political at times.
It's inevitable because we're dealing with Western society.
Yeah.
We're speaking to men of our age and men younger, typically, and trying to explain why the world is the way it is and how to interact with it to become successful in a godly way.
Yeah.
And to order your life properly.
Right.
That's the goal of Work Hard.
Yeah.
And so politics inevitably work their way into it.
Yeah, they'll work their way into it occasionally.
But it's not political centered.
Right. So I'm going to give a couple arguments for kind of some base layer logic. All right.
I had that topic that we never actually touched on. We talked about doing it at one point, the Christian case for conspiracies, where we were going to talk about. So this is going to actually part of your base layer is really just going to be doing that topic. So.
Right. Exactly. That's true.
Yeah. Go for it.
So
it just occurred to me as you said that.
No, good. I'm glad we're not going to
finally check that one off.
Yeah, 2 birds, 1 stone, baby. This was, if you listen to some of our early episodes, I've kind of peppered this idea into some of our early episodes. This was a big thing that I had a chip on my shoulder when I was an early Christian. And basically the idea is that God will, obviously miracles occur, but God is a God of processes. He created the physical world and he has it work physically. So if you get cancer and you pray to God that you are relieved of that affliction, you obviously as a Christian are not praying. I mean, you are praying, yes, that God will just cure you. Obviously, that's one of the things that you are praying, but also you're praying that the treatments that you are incurring are going to work. And
right, typically you are not sitting back and going, well, I'm going to do absolutely nothing and just pray.
Right. I'm just going to rub holy water on my knees.
Right. Or I'm not going to go to work, but I'm going to pray to God that he provides for my family.
Right.
While deliberately not working.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like you engage the world that God created as he created it, right? God is a God of processes.
Be dutiful.
Right. Be dutiful. and have faith.
And don't have faith in your works, but have faith that God will use those to
his end.
His end, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So
whether you live or not.
basically what I'm saying is that God's existence means something. Everything that is said in the Bible means something, and that it actually plays out in the physical world. All right? Now, take what I just said, that God's existence means something, that when you pray to get your cancer cured, and then your cancer is cured in the hospital by medical treatment, that was God curing your cancer. That's what that was.
Right. Because he can just as easily say, no, it's your time, and the treatments will be ineffective.
Exactly, yes. Now, take that and extrapolate that idea out to this concept that we are living in a war between principalities and powers. There are demonic forces at play. The devil exists, and he is real. That means something. That means something. And that means that the physical world, it has an effect on that. And so the question is, what is that effect? My assertion is that effect is quite drastic and much more significant than people are usually willing to engage with, because it's scary, because it's complicated to figure these things out, because you don't want it to be true, whatever. But if you are a Christian,
it's not scientifically provable.
It's not scientifically provable, whatever that means. If you are a Christian, denying that Satan is acting in the world in a conspiratorial, secret, deceitful way to undermine you and God's creation.
Weird that the father of lies would try and cover up.
Yeah, weird that he would operate in the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And debunk everything.
Yeah, and have fact checkers. Like the idea that that's not happening, that Satan is not at the center of some grand conspiracy, is retarded.
And this is not a blanket. This is not a blanket statement that all conspiracies are actually true.
Right. We're not asserting that the earth is flat or that whatever.
Yeah.
What we're asserting is, this is the simple assertion. All right. We're not asserting any specific. I mean, I will get into specifics, some specifics, but the assertion just simply is that the world is not as it seems. That is the assertion. Okay.
Satan appears as an angel of light.
Yes.
He would like it to look really good, because if we saw what it actually was, we'd fight against it a lot harder.
Yes. So there are a couple things that you can reference here that I'll tell you can look up, that are kind of things I'm pulling from to save time. I'm not going to dive into them. You can look up Gnostic cults. You can just go in YouTube and type in Yaldabaoth. Yaldoboth. Yaldabaoth. Watch a YouTube video in your car. They're very fascinating. There's one guy who's an Orthodox Christian, I believe, who goes pretty deep into this, into what Gnostics believe. That is very. They're very entertaining videos. So just, pop them on after the kids are in bed. You're playing video games, whatever. You're on there. He goes really in depth, and he does really well, and he's charismatic, so he can hold your attention. They're good videos. And it's just like some guy in whatever. It doesn't matter. You'll know immediately what I'm talking when you see it. So look up that. You can look up. Jay Dyer does a really fantastic explication of the book. Tragedy and Hope by I think his name is Andrew Quigley. I don't know that his name is Andrew, but his last name is definitely Quigley. And then you can, I think for $30 you can pay to get Jay Dyer to tell you what that book says, as opposed to having to read it yourself, because it's this thick, actually that thick. And it's really good. Jay Dyer's very cool guy, and has this, really is of the people next to like Alex Jones, the people who like know the state of the world and what's really going on. It's like Alex Jones and Jay Dyer, they know what's happening. So Jay Dyer's
we
really
just
good.
Lost some people.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. That's fine. I mean, how many more times does Alex Jones have to predict the future before? Watch the video. Watch the video of him like a month before 9/11 saying 9/11 was going to happen.
Earlier than that.
Yeah. Whatever.
Watch him on Tucker Carlson, and Tucker talks about how early he called the specifics of 9/11.
The specifics, down to Osama bin Laden,
Yeah.
down to the terror threat. It's crazy. He's been talking about COVID, whatever. At this point, if you think Alex Jones is, he might be.
Well, let's just say if you haven't looked into Alex Jones any more than the mainstream media message you've heard about him, you should give him a listen.
Yeah, you should give him a second chance, at least a second chance.
Yeah, and decipher it for real, not just
and
go.
He is,
they say he's crazy.
The olive branch I will extend to people is that he is a manically depressed, insane person.
He is hard to listen to.
Who is? I love listening to him, but that's me. Of course, I love listening to him. Yeah.
For the average American, he's a bit much.
Yeah, he's a lot,
and he sells a lot of vitamins.
And so, if you can suspend the fact that he is a snake oil salesman, and I'm just kidding. He's not a snake. All of his vitamins are actually.
He's got to make some money.
They're actually very high quality, and for the most part, everything that he sells is like a thing that if you were to go to a naturopathic doctor, they'd be like, you need to be on this, you need to do this.
Right.
So it's all good stuff. But he does.
Sure. But it can be a turn off.
Again, manically depressed. You have to remember that about him. He has traded his sanity for knowledge. That's what he did.
Don't delve into the dark things too deep.
Yeah. Don't look into the abyss if you're not prepared. Jay Dyer is a much calmer, much easier listen, who's way more scholarly and like this plus this plus this plus this. This is where we reference whatever. He's way easier to like breaking into Jay Dyer is a great way to. He has gaps. There are things. He just did a video talking about the Bitcoin standard. And like he gets into economics and stuff, and you can see where he's starting to lack in his level of expertise. But otherwise, he's a fantastic resource. So
what book did you say it was?
Jay Dyer. It's called Tragedy and Hope. So this is the book you can look up if you want to read it. Fine, it's going to take a long time. Another book you can get this on audiobook on Amazon is The Creature of Jekyll Island. The Creature of Jekyll Island, I would argue, is more important than Tragedy and Hope, just because it's it directly affects how you will interact with money. Like if you read Tragedy and Hope, you'll walk away from Tragedy and Hope, go, that's crazy, that's nuts that exists. I don't necessarily know what to do with that information. Like I don't know that it actually changes much about my day-to-day life.
Okay. But
the Creature of Jekyll Island will absolutely make you go, I need to, from the ground up,
look at money differently.
Redesign how I think about money. Yeah.
Or wealth, maybe.
Well, money. No, specifically money.
Money?
Specifically money. Because you have to view money, U.S. dollars, you have to view them not as a thing that you get paid with and it's a good tool or whatever. It is a weapon specifically designed to siphon your life away from you. That is the stated
Sure, but that's
purpose.
Changing your idea of what wealth is.
Well, wealth is separate from money. Wealth is just this. Wealth wealth can be in anything. It can be in gold. It can be in Bitcoin. It can be in houses. Wealth is just it's the thing.
Well,
we
it
use
changes
to
it in that you don't necessarily think money is wealth.
Right.
Cash is wealth.
Cash is right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that fair point. Yes.
I think that's what I was trying to say originally.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll pretend I knew what I was talking about from the beginning.
You can also read One Nation Under Blackmail by Whitney Webb. Whitney Webb is probably the greatest investigative journalist of our time. The caveat I'll give you with her is that Whitney Webb is
under blackmail.
Yeah, One Nation Under Blackmail. It's a 3-volume series, I believe. She's working on the 3rd right now. There's 2 books. It might be that they're done and she's done the 2 and that's that. They are incredibly dense. They are very, very hard to follow. So she basically builds out the creation of U.S. and Israeli, the intelligence apparatus that exists today that is used to spy on us and oppress us. She articulates who built it and how they did it. Okay. And it's just very dense with names and dates and so it's just really hard to follow. I would recommend getting these books in physical copy because they will go away at some point. So you need to have them physically so that when they get banned from Amazon, you still have the copy and can reference it. But these 3 books are extremely important for if you want to have a grasp on what is happening on a grand stage. What is the great game that you are a tiny little cog in? If you want to have a clear picture of all 3 of what I believe to be the segments, which is the civil, sort of civil religion aspect of it, that's covered in Tragedy and Hope. These people, these New World Order types that have this civil religion. Then you want to capture the economic factor of it, which is the banks and how they operate. That's Jekyll. That's the Creature Jekyll Island. Tragedy and Hope kind of touches on that as well. They overlap with each other a little bit.
Okay.
And then the final thing, which is that the military intelligence agency, that's the 3 segments of the world that exists today, that is tied together by the One Nation Under Blackmail. So if you read all 3 of these books, you will walk away from that with a very clear picture of the broader international
of the enemy
banking,
you're facing.
Yeah, the enemy you're facing. Yeah, the material version of the enemy you're facing. There's a 4th aspect to this, which is the actual cult religious stuff. And that is why not looking up Gnosticism is very important. Understanding who and what Moloch is. Spending time reading things about the Finders cult is a great one, because that was one of the times when the CIA had not yet figured out how to hide all this stuff perfectly well. They were just kind of starting to do all this. And so the Finders cult is one time where they messed up. They messed up, and one of their satanic pedophile operations got exposed publicly. And then they had a very flimsy...
So this is one of those where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right.
Things, right? Because there's a cover-up or a denial that it was theirs.
Right.
Right. So it was exposed as being the CIA?
Yes. So the Finders cult, to spare you the details in the story, 2 men are in a town, I believe it's Tallahassee, something like that. And they are there in a park with a bunch of disheveled, unhealthy-looking children. Someone calls the police on them. The police show up. The men are completely silent. They get arrested. The investigation continues, and this what is exposed is there's this compound where these people live. They're in this cult called the Finders cult, and the purpose of the cult is to traffic children for occult rituals. That is the point of the cult. The investigation is shut down, and the reason that they are given is because it is an internal matter. It is a CIA internal matter. That is why the investigation is shut down. The CIA came out and said, oh, that was confusing. It was because of this company that was over here, and they're called the Future Thing, whatever. And it sounds kind of like the Finders cult, and one of the Finders cult members worked there part-time as an accountant.
Okay. So that's the link they made up?
Yeah, that's the link they made up. It's just one of those things you read it and you go, this sounds like you're lying. Yeah. If my toddler was talking to me and said that, I'd be like, that's not what happened, is it? And they'd go, no,
it's not.
That's not what happened. So you just have to use your brain. One of the key aspects to...
And turn off the knee-jerk reaction that... this is hard to hear, and therefore I will deny it in a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah. So here's one of the things I would like to talk about, and here's one of the pieces of evidence that this is absolutely true. I can't say the name of on YouTube. I cannot say the name of the thing I would like to reference, or we will have this video taken down. Look up. There's a food that that Americans created based on Italian cuisine.
Okay.
That you can go get at like Papa John's. They serve this. Okay. It's that type of food. There's also, when you have a wall and you would like to enter through it, there's a thing that opens. You walk through that. Look up that first word with the second word. Okay. You're going to initials PG. All right. Now, almost all of this stuff, it's crazy. So, in 2016, when this was all happening, when the PG stuff
U.S. American right-wing conspiracy theory.
Ooh!
Right there in the search bar.
Right there in the search bar.
that went viral during the 2016. I wonder why. What timing?
Yeah. So you're going to have to go to BitChute to find the videos that actually cover a lot of this stuff well. It is...
So for us non-internet people, what's BitChute?
BitChute.
How do you reach it?
BitChute is...
Can you get there through Google at all?
Yes. Just just go to BitChute.
Okay.
Just look up BitChute. You're going to find a lot of crazy stuff on BitChute. There's lizard people. The Earth is flat. There's BitChute
stuff we're not defending or saying.
Yeah, BitChute just doesn't, unless it's illegal. BitChute will let you post it.
Gotcha.
So there's all kinds of stuff on BitChute. But if you go to BitChute and look up PG and find one of the more viewed videos and watch that, the stuff you will see is insane. Insane. And it is all just stuff people found on the internet. It is not there's no like, this is fabricated, this is a conspiracy theory, it is the equivalent of someone deciding that grass is green because they walked up and looked at the grass and it was green. All right? There's no magic there. You watch it, the people breaking down these Instagram, it is absurd. And when you walk away from it, you may not be able to go, I know explicitly what was happening here. I know for sure that there was trafficking happening at this location and this was going on, whatever, yada, yada. But you'll walk away going, something was happening and we are not allowed to talk about it or inquire into what was going on.
Red flag?
Something was happening.
Yeah.
You will walk away going, something was happening. And the thing that I think is the ultimate proof that something absolutely was happening was that one day when I was 21, every day on normie websites, Twitter, stuff like that, even if you went to 4chan, it was crazy, but like every day new stuff was coming out. This guy's on Instagram posting this cryptic message that's obviously him talking about kids. This guy's doing this. This senator was at this location while this guy who's here, whatever, all at the same time. They were talking. They knew each other. They were friends on Instagram. All this stuff coming out, new stuff every day. And then I went to sleep one day and I woke up and the next day it was all gone. All of it. Every account banned, every post taken down, every video deleted, everything all at once gone. Overnight. And now you can't look it up.
Odd.
Weird. Why would that happen?
Because it was disinformation.
It was disinformation. It's not good.
It was harmful for the public to see.
All right. So
it might cause consternation in the public.
A man who was a known actor, okay, he has an IMDb page. He was an actor. Went to the location that is at the center of the PG conspiracy,
okay,
with a firearm. And he came with the stated purpose of going in and putting arrest to this. He was going to find the servers. I'm doing this.
Okay.
He attacked no one, caused no damage. He fired his gun to try to break a lock, I believe.
Okay.
He was arrested. I think he was charged with a very minor crime. Maybe he was charged with, he was charged with a felony for sure. May have been like a terrorist act or whatever. Nothing happened. Okay. He did nothing. Nothing happened. That was the reason. That was there. This is too far. We have to ban everything because this guy showed up. This is dangerous.
Okay.
Now, that guy who was obviously an actor hired to do that on purpose so that they could then the next day say this all has to go because it's dangerous. That guy was then executed by the police like a year ago on a standard traffic stop. The chest camera video is nuts. They just straight up execute him.
They just walk up.
There's a...
I bet that's on BitChute, huh?
It's crazy. Okay. Look up Michael Hastings. That's all. Look up Michael Hastings. See if that sounds normal to you. Look up the judge that was originally over the Joseph Epstein trial. See if that sounds, see if what happened to her and her family sounds normal to you. Just see. Look it up. Take a gander. All right? The world is not as it seems. I'll back off here for a second. You guys have heard me recently talk about the video game Marvel Rivals. All right? I uninstalled the game because Marvel Rivals has a very nefarious predatory system built into the base layer of the game that helps it decide who you're going to play against in each match. So the way that most video games choose who they're going to fight against, when you queue for a game, you get in, you've got your team, the other team, you guys are going to fight. There's different ways to do it, but they're all basically built on the chess ELO system to help you decide at which level the who is ranked at what. How good are you at the game? You get an MMR, a matchmaking rating. Okay. Then everybody with similar matchmaking ratings get put in the same game. And that's how they decide which game to go. That's most video games have that. Marvel Rivals is a system called EOMM, Engagement Optimized Matchmaking. The game is not designed to create fair and fun matches between people of equal skill. It is designed to hack your brain to cause massive win streaks and massive loss streaks to spike your dopamine and then rob you of that dopamine so that you feel the urge to go back and get it. It is intentionally designed to make the game addictive, which sucks because the game is just fun. And I can't play it.
Yeah.
Because they made it gay.
Bummer.
Thought
you had one.
Thought I had one. Now, NetEase has outright denied that they use EOMM on their game. But after careful research, I discovered that, and by careful research I mean Googling it one time, I discovered that NetEase as a company has old research papers talking about EOMM, how they develop it, how they create it, how they as a company create it, have experimented with it, have it, and it works. They have a representative, a high-ranking representative from their company, go to a games conference and talk about how great EOMM is, how it works, and that they have one and it functions.
How would you know it functions?
How would you know it functions? Now, they did that well before...
before Marvel Rivals.
Right. So, am I to believe that a Chinese company who has bragged about having this technology, bragged about using it, and is constantly trying to sell it to other organizations, then made their own game and didn't deploy it? Do you think I'm a retard? Is that what you think? You think I'm that stupid? Where there is smoke, there is fire. All right, if you Google just put in EOMM into Google, the first result is people on Reddit running experiments on Marvel Rivals saying these win rates are mathematically impossible. Statisticians going, these win rates are mathematically impossible. If you put EOMM
in the search bar, EOMM, it suggested Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Everyone knows that it exists. And Marvel Rivals...
Article on Steam community. Why are people leaving Marvel Rivals?
Yes. NetEase is just outright denying it, all right? Now, it's easy for you to hear that. It's easy for you to go, well, yeah, obviously, of course NetEase is using it. You're hearing that, and you're saying that because there's you don't care. Why would you care whether or not NetEase... You don't play Marvel Rivals. Why would you care whether or not NetEase is using EOMM? It doesn't affect you, right? Now, think to yourself that exact same concept with what we're talking about with the conspiratorial thing. It is the exact same thing. You have Jeffrey Epstein exists. How many Operation Paperclips need to be declassified? How many? What's the one where they're doing with the CIA's doing all the LSD stuff? The big one, the famous one that they made all the movies about.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra. Thank you. MK Ultra. All right. How many MK Ultras need to be declassified? How many Operation Paperclips need to be declassified? How many Iran Contras need to be declassified? How much of this stuff has to be declassified before you go?
Here's the AI on Brave. So I've got the Brave is the search engine I've got open right now. CIA LSD experiments. This is the AI summary at the top. The CIA conducted a secret program known as MK Ultra, which involved extensive experiments with LSD and other psychoactive substances in the 1950s and 60s. aiming to develop methods for mind control and behavior modification.
At the same time, there was a massive spike in serial killers in the U.S. When MKUltra was shut down, all of the serial killers went away. Why don't we hear about serial killers anymore? Because they don't exist, because they are fabricated, they are created. Where there's smoke, there's fire. What do you expect me to believe? Here's one, Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski is a stated, known, official, matter of public record in a court of law victim of MKUltra. He was co-opted.
He was built.
Yes, he was manufactured. Ted Kaczynski was manufactured. It is a matter of fact that is not up for negotiation. You think that the same organization, first of all, no one went to jail for any of this. No one got in trouble. No one maybe some clerk got fired. No one suffered any negative consequences. You think in your head the CIA just stopped for some reason?
Because they found Christ.
Yeah, they
got religion.
They were.
They're all better now.
Yeah, they're just totally different.
Everything points to it.
Yeah, everything points to it. It's all. Yeah, there's nothing strange going on.
Satan
anymore.
left the U.S.
Yes. Yeah.
He stopped possessing CIA.
Yeah.
Uppers.
Yeah. So.
Leave him be.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll give him a break.
Yeah. So there's nothing. There's nothing going on now. There's just everything is normal. Everything is just as CNN and Fox News tells you it is. There is no list. There is no list. Trump said it. There's no list. Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, created a tremendous amount of the textbooks that are used in public school in the U.S.
Oh.
What do you think his motivations were? He started Mossad and was killed on his boat by them, thrown into the ocean. Look that up. That's a matter of they just talk about that. That guy made all the public school textbooks. But the world you live in, it's just like they say it is. COVID happened. That was a real problem that really occurred. There was a real virus. The vaccines will not kill more people than the actual virus did. That certainly won't happen. They're not trying to tamper with your food. They're not trying to blot out the sun. Bill Gates is a totally reasonable guy. Bill Gates created Microsoft by himself. There was no CIA funding. You can look it up. You can look this up. Look up how Mark Zuckerberg got the technology behind Facebook. Why was it created? Could it have been a CIA program that was exposed and then shut down, and so they pivoted and made it a private venture? I don't know. Could that be possible? I guess it could be. I guess it could. Guys, if you are a serious...
There's got to be fire, guys.
If you are a serious person with a thinking mind, encountering this information, and I'm not saying that listening to this, hearing me say this, and not agreeing with me is retarded. I'm not giving specifics. I'm not going into proving these things. I'm leaving that on you to do it.
Yeah, look it up.
But if you look it up and you go, it's fine. If you want to stop here and don't want to look it up, you just want to call me a nutcase, whatever, you're a screwball weirdo, I don't want to engage with this, fine, whatever. Continue to keep the wool over your eyes if that's the world you want to live in. If it makes you feel better, that's great. Go with it. But you're going to continue to live in debt. You're going to continue to be miserable because you won't engage the world as it actually is. If you take a second to look up any of the things I'm talking about here, do your research past the original debunking and go to see what the once somebody debunks it, what do the other people say to argue against that debunking? See that these are extremely flimsy, retarded excuses given so that talking heads on the news can parrot them. Not
to mention they all say the same phrase.
They all say, yeah, there's plenty of those videos where it's like all the local news people saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, what do they call them? Like a supercut clips.
Yeah.
Supercuts.
Right-wing conspiracy theory, yeah.
Right-wing conspiracy theory. Right-wing conspiracy theory. Right-wing conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to the No Agenda podcast. They do that all the time. They do news analysis.
Yeah.
And so they'll get a conglomerate of all the different... They're like, hey, there's that phrase again. Hey, there it is again. Here it is from CNN. Here it is on Fox. Here it is on MSNBC.
Yeah.
They're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, they're all saying the same thing, yeah. And so here...
Yeah, they got the script.
So listen, the point is that this stuff, the fact that conspiracies are true and that there is a cabal of global elites who are conspiring with the devil to undo God's work is outside the scope of rational debate. I'm sorry. That is the truth. That is the reality. The particulars of which conspiracy theories are true, of what happened and what did not, those are obviously up for debate. We don't know exactly, but to say...
And you never will.
And you never will.
As Mel Gibson's character in Conspiracy Theory famously and very truthfully said, when Julia Roberts asked him, can you prove any of this? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. A good conspiracy is unprovable.
I mean, a lot of it,
if you can prove it, means they messed up somewhere.
Right. Here's the difference between a right-wing conspiracy theory and fact that is taught in public school. 20 years. That's the difference. 20 years. Everything everything that happened during COVID, that everyone was like, it was the lab leak theory that was racist and you couldn't talk about it. Now just a matter of fact. That is actually what happened. Everybody knows it. Everybody talks about it. Look into it for 10 minutes. That is exactly what happened. The lab leak theory absolutely happened. Look into...
Not a wet market.
Not a wet market. Look into that stupid... What is his name? Anthony Fauci, the little...
That worm?
Yeah, the little Italian worm. Look into his emails. Look at his emails. He knew that it had been leaked from the lab. He knew it.
Oh, and gain of function?
He explicitly says that we need to get ahead of this because if it gets out, there's going to be a problem. He the whole time
also
he knew what it was.
Denied gain of function.
The gain of function
testimony.
Yeah.
And there's other clips of him saying like, yeah, we've got gain of function.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
In those emails, he uses the phrase gain of function.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, in front of Congress or whatever, can't seem to remember what gain of function means.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Whatever.
And so it just, listen, all the COVID stuff.
Smoke.
Before we are dead, mark my words. When I am 80 years old, it is going to be taught in public schools that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID did. That is going to be taught in public schools as a matter of fact. And somehow they're going to twist it so that it makes white people evil. That is going to be the beauty
or
of it.
whatever's needed then.
Yeah, exactly.
Might not be white people.
Might not be white people. Yeah, it might be Indians. Who knows? Whoever is the faux pas at the time will be the target of what you're taught in
right.
school.
Whoever's in power.
Yeah, whoever's in power.
They don't want to be in power.
Yeah.
Or alleged. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Whoever's soul they are trying to siphon.
Yeah.
It will be the person
whoever they need to blame it on.
Yeah. So,
that tracks.
It is 20 years. That's the difference between a conspiracy theory and a matter of fact that everyone knows is 20 years. So, I'm sorry. It just is. All right. I will say it again. The idea that Satan is collaborating in a conspiratorial manner with leaders of this world to undermine God's creation is outside the scope of rational debate. At the very base level, in order to argue against that, you have to argue that people in power will not do nefarious and secret things to maintain and grow that power. You think that's a rational statement? You think that statement makes you seem like a serious person? That makes you seem like a fool. A fool. And I'm not saying it's Nancy Pelosi. I'm saying it's Trump. It's Nancy Pelosi. They all are out for themselves, and they are being manipulated and controlled. In many cases, maybe not many cases, I don't know this for sure, but I would not be surprised that in some cases at the highest levels, they're not being manipulated. They are manipulating. They are in direct, open communication with Satan and his forces. They sit in rooms with him and talk. I would not be surprised if that's true. But at the very least, these people are willingly participating in a massive scam to siphon the life out of you, to destroy you, to keep you from God, and to keep you poor and miserable and spiteful and bitter. That is what the conspiracy is designed to do. You can look this up. There's a French architect hired in Spain, I believe, to torture fascist soldiers by creating jail cells using modern art that psychologically tortured them while they were in the jail cell. And if you look at the jail cells, they look an awful lot like every office in the U.S. Is that a coincidence? Do you think I'm retarded? Where there's smoke, there is fire. I, a Frenchman, was hired by a global cabal to build torturous prison cells that worked and were torturous and broke the minds of the prisoners we imprisoned there. And then what did we do with that information? Nothing. We just put it on the books. Good to know. They didn't do anything with it. Sorry, they did something with it. They only use it on terrorists. They only use that information on terrorists. They don't ever use that information on you, the people with guns who have interests in opposition to theirs. And what are those interests? You have money they don't have, and they want it. It's not complicated. You have agency, and they don't want you to have agency. So why bring this stuff up?
Why this rant?
I said this at the beginning. You're operating in a world that does not exist. You are engaging a world that does not exist. I treat money and politics and my job and everything as if I am engaging a conspiracy that is out to kill me, that I'm at war. Now, the Bible says we're at war. All right. That's another thing. That's just out. All right. God talks about we're obviously at war. I engage the economy. I engage my job. I see it like the Matrix. What's his name? Morpheus tells Neo, these people are innocent, but they are part of the system and they will fight to protect that system. And so long as they do it, they are our enemies. All right. Your boss, your coworkers, these people who love the NFL, who are fully bought in, who they don't care. Cypher sits down and says, I know this steak doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But when I take a bite mouth, my brain's...
I know it's going to be juicy.
Yeah, it sends a signal to my brain. I know it's going to be juicy and delicious. And you know what I've decided? Ignorance is bliss. That is your coworkers. That is the people around you. As long as they are plugged into the system, they will fight to defend it, and so they are your enemy. All right? That is how I've engaged the world ever since I've had the first little bit of money that I have. And because of that, and obviously God's sovereignty, I am in the 1% of wealth and income for my age bracket. I'm not bragging. All right. I'm just telling you a matter of fact. I have done exceptionally well in the realm of worldly wealth. And that is because I do not believe anything anyone tells me ever. I just always assume this person is lying or being lied to. I do not leave my money anywhere where a bank can get it. The moment I get a commission check, it goes right into Bitcoin. And it's the Bitcoin thing is largely the reason, right? Bitcoin is the ultimate expression of you not trusting the system. It is you taking a direct bet against the system. You are directly investing in the opposition to the system.
Go check out our Bitcoin for Dummies episode.
Go check out our Bitcoin for Dummies episode. And so this affects you. This affects your daily life. You cannot listen to people. You cannot, every single time when you see Sydney Sweeney on an American Eagle advertisement, you have to assume it's because somebody wants you to die for Israel. Somebody wants you to join the army, get on a tank, fly over to wherever, and get blown up for Israel. That's the assumption you have to make. All right?
But Ethan, how would you
connect those dots?
How A to B, Ethan? I feel like we're at Z.
Yeah. Don't worry. They want you to be bought back in. There is a movement in this world of young men who are starting to question what they are seeing. They are waking up, and the system is realizing that they are waking up. It is trying to lull you back to sleep.
With Sydney Sweeney's boobs.
With Sydney Sweeney's boobs, with new video games that actually don't suck.
But they do suck. you talking about Marvel Rivals or something else?
Marvel Rivals is pretty good, but like the new Battlefield 6 looks like it's going to come out. It's going to be awesome. Engage with that like it is alcohol. Engage with that. It is alcohol is poison.
They will hook you.
It is awful fun. All right. I'm a big advocate for drinking. Okay. Everybody knows that. But
women are beautiful.
Women are beautiful.
But the conservative movement to go back 5 years, 10 years, and go finally back to normal.
Yeah.
Finally, we can have cisgendered women who are actually hot in our ads again.
Scantily clad.
Finally, bikinis back in the Carl's Jr. ads.
Right.
Finally, the America I remember.
Yeah, the America I remember, where women are barely covering their areolas on national television.
Finally, some decency.
Yeah, finally I can give my power to women and not to trans women. Yeah.
This feels better.
Yeah, this feels so much better.
Yeah.
So they're trying to lull you.
Don't be tricked.
Don't be tricked. Don't be fooled. We are not rev turning to tradition.
It's not winning.
It's not winning. It's not winning.
It's a trap.
It is a trap. Yeah, it's a trap. Yeah, it is a trap. Yes, exactly. Which coincidentally, that used to be used on 4chan when somebody would post a scantily clad hot woman. Someone would pin that it was actually a man, and they would post it's a trap. Yeah. And that's what they were called. They were called traps for a long time. Trainees were called traps.
Oh, that's funny.
Now they're called troons, which is, I like that. It's a heavy slur. It sounds bad.
Does it stand for something?
It's just a slur on tranny. Troon.
Okay. Doesn't sound like it.
I don't know. How they got.
I
haven't looked at the etymology of the slang term yet.
All
I just know that's what they.
These are the questions I have.
Yeah. So you got to remember, I'm phasing out of my being.
You see, you don't know the answers anymore.
Yeah.
Since we started this podcast, since I came on the podcast, Ethan used to be able to answer every question I had about modern internet culture, and now he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's coming more towards my side of things.
Here's something that's important. Okay, there are two things that you need to take away from this that are very important. One, they're messing with your money, and you need to figure out how to stop them from being able to do that. That's the number one thing you need to understand here. They are messing with your money. That's what this is all about. This is about using dollars as a weapon to rape your life. That is what this is about. All right. Now, when they do that, they take that, they do all kinds of crazy, nefarious cultic stuff. They want to hurt your children. They want to turn them into sex slaves. You are not castrated. What is it when they cut the tip of your penis off? Circumcised. You're circumcised as a blood ritual, that is not that we don't have to do. Baptism has replaced that. We don't need it anymore. They do that now. They got that into the American psyche and made people start doing that as a way to sexually assault young men as early as they possibly could. That is why that exists. All right. So you need to not have your sons mutilated, first of all, when they're born. Don't do that. Secondly, they're messing with your money. Thirdly, the third thing that's also very important is if you are new to this, which if you're young, you probably are. If you're older, this is probably kind of a little bit of a bit of a dead horse here. If you're young, or maybe not, I got a buddy, he's my age. He got woken up with the COVID thing and it nuked his brain. He did not recover. He is now in a state of everything is a conspiracy. Reality itself is a conspiracy.
Oh. He thinks the Matrix is the thing?
Yeah, well, effectively, yes. You can fall in, this is the Gnostic thing, all right? This is why I want you to look this up. You can fall into engaging in the conspiracies, obsessing over them, finding out the truth. They are just as happy to let you do that. That's why they leave these little breadcrumbs that you can follow down an infinitely deep rabbit hole of molestation and torture. Because that is their way to get the people who are smart enough to wake up and figure out how to not be a part of the system, to turn them into psychotic freaks who can't function in reality.
Dragging them down because they're molesting you with all that information.
Right, exactly.
So as a warning, do not go and research any more than you have to be convinced that there is drastic evil afoot. Well, as soon as you're convinced of that, there's no real reason, I don't think, to continue looking at it.
Yeah.
Do not look at things that are evil.
Yeah.
You will be affected by it. So do not go and watch horrible, perverse videos, gratuitous violence, and read in-depth detailed descriptions of what they do to children. Don't do that.
Don't do it. Yeah, because it will fry your brain. I'll give you.
Stick with the smoke.
Stick with the smoke. Exactly. Stick with the smoke.
If you can convince
Very
yourself
well
there is smoke, then you can assume there is horrific fire.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't necessarily have to pinpoint the fire and find out all the reasons. Just be convinced that Satan is active. He wants to destroy you, and there's at least a couple of ways of destroying you. One, wool over your eyes, and two, making you so crippled with anxiety and frustration and horror that you don't make a move.
Yeah, Satan is active, and he is using real life, physical, material methods to destroy you. Okay, the big one is the money. All right, the big one is the money. The other one is the sexual torture. Those are two things. What's his face from Whitest Kids You Know got killed for talking about that. He had a heart attack, very young, very in shape, died of a heart attack after tweeting the CIA uses sexual torture to mind control people. Obviously, that could be a coincidence. Maybe the CIA didn't kill him. I'm just kidding.
But if either of us die of a heart attack,
I actually probably could die of a heart attack. I'm mad fat. So
download this episode.
If Jason dies of a heart attack, then there's a problem. If I die of anything but a heart attack, that's a problem.
Ethan has no plans to shoot himself in the back of the head twice.
I have absolutely no plans to shoot myself in the back of the head twice. I know how all my weapons work. I know when they do and do not have rounds in them. I'm extremely safe with them. I do not play with them. They are not toys. I will not make a mistake. I don't drive my car very fast. My truck is huge. I will not die in a car accident. I'm the safest driver you've ever seen. I stop at stoplights. I never speed. When my car could definitely pull out and I'd be fine, I wait till the car goes past till the coast is clear to drive. That's a joke. We're obviously not going to be assaulted by the CIA, but
we're not big enough.
Here's what I'll tell you. When I was maybe 14, 15, somewhere in there, I got into all this stuff. Okay? I found out that 9/11...
A little early.
When I found out that the way we identified the terrorists who flew the planes into 9/11 was that one FBI agent picked up the passport of one of the terrorists off of the ground outside of the building. At 14, I went,
what?
That sounds odd. And so I looked it up, and it was well before the internet was being highly monitored. It was still, highly monitored and highly censored. It was kind of the Wild West still of the internet. And it was very easy to find all this information. And I went down the rabbit hole, and I went crazy. I was like in my mom's car at 16. My mom's driving me to school, and I'm like, they do it on purpose, Mom. It's not circumcision. It's part of it's the Jews. Like and my parents were like, okay,
dude.
Yeah. And I came out of it. All right. The important part is that if you don't turn to substance abuse as a way to treat your constant anxiety, to cope with it, you will come out the other end. All right. So if what you have to do is go deep down the rabbit hole and lose yourself for a minute, fine. But just be aware that is what is happening to you, and that you will come out the other end. And what will happen when you come out the other end is, I know all of this is true. As Jason said, I know there's smoke. I don't need to see the fire. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I know what's happening. I've developed my plan for how I'm going to interact with it. And as long as I stick to that plan, I'm going to have the best chance I can possibly have of being fine. Everything else is outside of my power to control, and it only hurts me to know the specifics. So I'm just going to ignore it. That's where I am today. Like anytime I hear some new thing,
it's like the heavy version of constantly being in the news cycle.
Right, exactly.
Constantly reading about whatever war is being fought wherever, what politicians are doing or not doing that's upsetting.
Yeah.
And you're going to be mentally captured by that anxiety.
Right. Yeah. Some IDF...
Only on a far deeper and more grotesque level with this stuff.
Some IDF soldier was talking about how they were told to stand down during the October 7th terrorist attacks by Hamas on the music festival. Mm-hmm. Some IDF soldier blew the whistle on that. I don't know if that's true. I have no idea. Not going to look into it. Don't care. So
very probably true. Don't need to look into it.
Very probably true. There's plenty of smoke.
Could also just be a blatant lie.
It could be a blatant lie that some dude on Twitter fabricated. I'm not going to find out.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to me.
Water off your back. Water off your back. Keep trudging.
Yep, keep trudging. So guys, listen, this is the ultimate point. The world is absolutely not the world they tell you that exists. We do live in the Matrix. It is a hallucination. It is delusion. They want you asleep so that they can take your money and molest you. That is the point. They use sexual trauma to enslave you mentally. They use money to enslave you physically. That is, boom, right there. So the two things you have to live your life in constant, you have to put a hazmat suit on and play a very defensive game against this stuff, is anything to do with sex that is outside of God's intention for sex, which means if it is not about you making your sex life better with your wife, it is irrelevant to you and you need to ignore it, kill it, get it as far away from you as possible. You need to keep people away from your kids as best as you can. And the second thing is you have to figure out what to do with your money. Read Saifedean's Bitcoin Standard. Just read that. Watch 2 Michael Saylor videos and you'll know what to do. Okay? Those are your 2 things. That is the most important thing that you could do outside of raise Christian children and live a Christian life and glorify God. Those are the 2 things you need to do to defend yourself. All right? And the medical stuff is a whole other thing. You need to be very wary of medical professionals. So that's it. That's what I want to leave you with.
Yeah. Those that are captured by the system.
Yeah. And people who don't do that, I don't think any of my boys will see this, but some of my buddies, not a lot of them, but some of them are totally enraptured in this stuff. I'm going to spend a weekend with them, and I'm going to spend the entire weekend hearing them say the most awful things that I've ever heard and be like, oh gosh, man, I wish you weren't suffering like this, but there's nothing I can do because no matter what I say, you're going to go, oh, looks, it's tea time. Got to get to the golf course no matter what I say. Like they're just so, you don't want to be that. You don't want to have your head buried in the sand, and you don't want to have your head so far pulled out of the sand that it's just flying off into the clouds and now you're psychotic and you can't operate in the world.
Yeah.
So we're talking in circles now, so we'll wrap it up. But guys, please just walk away from this thinking to yourself, if I don't know this to be true, I need to verify it for myself. And if I do believe them and I do think it's true, I need to skip the part of verifying it. Stop there and start reading about what to do with your money and how to keep your kids safe. Those are the 2 things you got to do.
We always say, ignore the high-level global stuff and focus on your duties at home.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a husband, be a good husband. If you're a father, be a godly father. If you're part of a church community, be involved. Have brothers or sisters if there's ladies listening.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, again, at the end of the day, it's the same message we have at the end of every episode, which is take care of yourself and your life and your little world. Take care of your pond. Be a good egg. All right? Guys, we love you. This has been a fun episode for me. I love this stuff. One day, it is, as you guys know, I wanted to be a journalist. That's how I started my writing career. It is still when I have the money and I have the funds and I have the clout, I will have a documentary series that aggregates all of this stuff as in the high level important stuff all into one source that's like, bam, there it is. Hyper Premium will be responsible for publishing that. It will be not my magnum opus, but it will be one of the things I hope people remember me for when I leave. We love you guys.
We're praying for you.
We are praying for you. If you're not at a church, please find a church, a good one, attend it, find a woman, and
have some babies with her.
Goodbye, guys. We love you. See you later.